Alright guys, what's up? User here. As promised, I am starting a franchise with completely custom teams that I've made painstakingly by hand, okay? This process was awful and terrible, and it took literally fucking weeks off of my life, but what I've done is I went through every single one of these 8 teams. I tried to clean up their rosters as much as possible. And let me explain quickly the purpose of this in context of why it's happening. First of all, I enjoy Maximum Football. It is a great game, but it is flawed with a ton of really terrible design choices. There's a ton of glitches, gameplay breaking bugs, specifically with the franchise mode, which I'm hoping this works. Secondly, a few weeks ago I made a video about the ratings in this game and how they are causing issues within the product itself. Now, what I've done in the purpose of this franchise is to run a CPU driven franchise where the teams have been modified to where no longer are there dozens and dozens of 99 speed players and a bunch of 95 plus rated guys at all the positions across the board. These teams have been painstakingly edited to essentially nullify that. Think of the ratings this way. A lot of these guys are going to be in the lower 70s or whatever. So all the backups I've tried to make as trash as I can so they can't get on the field. But a 75 to like an 82 is a solid, okay starter. Anybody in that like upper 80s echelon is what I would consider like your above average starter guys, like fringe Pro Bowl level players, very good franchise guys that you can keep on the team for years. Now, when we're talking about getting into the 90s, these are guys that I want and I hope take over these games completely. I want them to essentially make it so that the offense or defense or whatever has to game plan around them totally because these guys are game wreckers. And if you're above a 95, you're a perennial all pro player, a guy that should be talked about as far as like Hall of Fame discussions. Before I jump into this real quick, like I said, I've replaced it. It's an 8 team franchise, and I'll just explain each of these teams and sort of what to expect from them. Now, if you've watched me play my franchise or my dynasty, this is the team I used, but I've modified these guys specifically to basically as pretty generic. There's no real major weak spots on this team. The quarterback room I've scoped down to where I think the quarterback is named after Flacco from The Replacements. So he's got a decent arm. He's a very good, determined thrower. The Great Ridge Gold Tigers I've created because they are going to be the opposite of what the fuck did I just do? Alright guys, I think I just backed out of the whole thing. Awesome. So, give me a second and I'll just have to fucking re-explain everything. I'm using a PlayStation Pro controller, which the back of it, if I can even change those controls, there we go, default. Those buttons do nothing now, that's awesome. Well, at least here you can see how I'm setting this up. Accelerated clock is on, player stuff is automatic, so I'll just talk through these teams again real quick once I get this set up, since there's a whole bunch of no one watching the stream right now, which is totally fine, you know, whatever. It only hurts my feelings just a little bit. So here we are, we're back at the beginning. So the Great Ridge Gold Tigers are an offensive heavy team. They are meant to be the opposite of the Dark Ridge Dark Tigers. Like, these two teams are supposed to be mirror images of one another. This is the offensive team. This quarterback's pretty competent. They have a couple playmakers on offense. Their defense is okay, but there's no real, impact guys on that. The Blizzards are home of the most elite quarterback in the league. He's like a 95 plus. I've literally made this guy to be as stacked as possible. He's got the best receiving room in the league as well, with like 295 rated receivers. This is basically a team that's built to be like the Bengals in the NFL. Heavy on offense, but their defense is lacking severely. the Killers are essentially a Michael Vick driven quarterback team. They have a couple of impact guys, but basically they're sort of low man on the totem pole. And you can tell some of the overalls are skewed here because I copied these guys from some of the worst teams. And the Doom Lords, for example, I made before I did that, so the ratings are a little bit skewed. But the Doom Lords are a run heavy team with a decent, okay quarterback. He's not going to win you games, but he's alright. A lot of run power offensive linemen. They lack in the pass game. The Mammoths are pretty solid all over the board. They have a couple of like really good impact players. The Dark Tigers are essentially the defensive juggernaut of the team. They have several 90 rated players on their defense, but they are home of the single worst quarterback in the league. This guy is as bad as I can make him as a starting quality quarterback, because as much as I tried to make the players in this league suck, turning every stat down to like a 60 or 50, they're still, rated high enough that it's tough to make a 70 overall quarterback be like the clear definitive starter. This is a team to watch because they're essentially one of the benchmarks for how I'm going to grade the rest of the teams. Terrible quarterback, but stout defense. We'll see. So you have to pick a team here to run this through. So I'll just run with the Berserks and just see what happens. Just don't care. That's all fine. I'm not going to sync with any of these because I just don't care. Hey boss, welcome, blah 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 blah. BD. So let me guess, is it gonna... Okay. Your custom team has been imported into the franchise league. Each player has been assigned contract values. The custom team uses Dynasty roster format. Then just let me pick what type of custom teams I want to make offline. At the start of the season, in order to blah 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 blah, you may cut triggers. That's totally fine. So let's just see if it actually like kept my guys here. So there's a Falco, basic running back room. The receivers are okay. Like I said, the offensive line is pretty stout, but defensively, there's a random guy here, user pick. I don't know who he is, but he's pretty solid. Otherwise, this is a very bare bones defense. I guess we have to cut some guys, and the whole point of me making a bunch of literal garbage trash players was to cut some of these dudes. So how do I get over here to my overalls? Okay. We're just going to go to the bottom and just start hacking from the bottom of this to get down to our 80-man roster or whatever here. So, wait. You're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. Get out of here, beat the traffic, and you're out. So, there we are. It looks like we are at our roster size. Let's not really, I don't care about a lot of that. Just making sure all my settings here are correct. So it looks like we're in week 1 of the preseason. Again, I'm just going to simulate through this. It looks like it has the Mammoths as the #1 team here, so whatever, we're just going to simulate. This stuff doesn't matter. Can advance, and it looks like we have another week of preseason. It's totally fine with me. Again, I don't care, just get this out of the way. So the coaches are spending XP on players. It looks like that's fun and great, whatever. All right, so can I look at the other teams or no? Sure, there was a way to look at the other teams. It's gonna be weird because I actually don't have any, like, okay, so here's some basic standings, whatever. Looks like it split us into 2 conferences, So it put the Gold and the Dark Tigers in one conference. That's good. I wanted that to happen. So that was the third week of preseason. Are you joking? Active roster is allowed. Okay, that's whatever. Active roster over the allowed size. I have to cut it down again. I guess I have to chop it down to I did not have this issue when I played franchise before, because obviously I picked one of the franchise teams, so they were already at a 53-man roster. So it looks like, yes, geez, let me go. It's actually pretty cool that this game kind of lets you have to cut down your rosters sort of like the way that you would in the NFL. I hate how good this is, and then it's gonna just break. So okay, so you've decided to cut players. Yes, whatever. Okay, so here we're in a regular season finally. So out of all these games, there's a couple. I'll probably simulate one each week, depending on kind of like how these matchups kind of progress. But for the sake of this, I'm gonna do my Blizzards game here. We're gonna spectate because I want to see these two teams play. So you have the #1 QB in the league against the Berserks, who are a pretty overall okay team. It looks like these teams actually took some hits because they had to cut their rosters down, so that's kind of funny. I'm going to get in here, and of course it's raining, which is going to ruin the entire experience, because all of these teams now are going to do is going to quit the main menu until I can get a non-rain game. Also, I was looking to see if there was a way to turn the announcers off, because I would like to speak and not have the game talk over me. And again, if it's raining or snowing, okay, so it looks like it's gonna work here all right.
I'm joined by Dan Walks in the booth today.
God, thank you, Garrett. You know, I feel privileged to be here today. It's going to be a great game.
He's our first standout player this evening.
Oh, he is a great leader and motivates his teammates to perform under pressure.
And now introducing another standout. We're moving forward, it seems. It's time for the coin toss. Wins the toss. Here comes the kick.
Alright, before this game kicks off, can I turn the announcer guy off? In-game commentary. Yeah, he's gone. He's out of here. Alright. So, like I said, this is a league built around... I've completely altered all of the ratings, and he just whiffed on that. Interesting. What a start. And I think they're going to have to start at the goal line because of a fucking glitch. Oh no, okay. So this is the best quarterback in the league, guys. 95-something overall. Now the green team here essentially does not have the most elite offensive line, but they're pretty okay. I want to see this guy open it up. I literally gave them a passing offense so they would do nothing but pass the ball. So I do have the accelerated clock on as well. I just think these games are a little bit more realistic when that happens. I literally gave this team the most talented passing attack possible, and it's been 3 straight runs. Here we go. We finally get to watch them open it up a little bit. Berserks have a little bit of a scheme, different pattern there on their unis. This is a team that I've changed a little bit just to kind of throw here in the franchise and differentiate them. But so the AI does shift the linemen around a bit. That's cool. A little bit of play action and a sack. Holy shit. I didn't think I'd ever see the day we'd get like a blown up pocket in this game. Now, you're going to notice something. I'm probably going to piss a lot of, all one viewer off here with the replays. Now, we're going to get play action here. And you'll notice something about the offensive line. I know this is crazy, but I've turned all of their blocking way down and a ton of the block shedding way up for the average players. Because while I was going through this, I noticed a few things. Mainly the how broken a ton of these players' ratings were. So I adjusted all of that, which is kind of what I wanted to see come out of this game. So you're going to get a lot more quick pocket passing out of this as well. This guy has a very high pocket IQ. And that was not a very high IQ throw there. Interesting. This dude has an explosive receiver tandem, and he is not targeting them at all.
Tackle made by number 25 on the defense.
See what the Berserks can do. Let's see if Falco can come out here. I think they're running a more of like a RPO level offense. I don't know what just happened there. That was a very weird play. Thought we were about to see our first interception of the season on Falco's first throw. You are going to notice too during some of these games, I've just straight up called some of these players like Mr. Agile and Truck Stick, just to kind of show that I've edited their TGF. This is the first time I've played Maximum probably for a few weeks, so I haven't noticed any crashes on PS5. I've never had issues crashes with the game crashing, but I've had issues with the game, the franchise mode, just functionality wise, not working. So specifically, this quarterback has a higher run IQ, so you'll notice he'll kind of vacate the pocket a little bit more as well. Maybe I made him too shit at throwing the ball. That was very awkward. And there's our first tutty of the season. A very floaty pass there. I didn't say these ratings adjustments would be perfect, but it's kind of interesting to see how this is going to play out. I forgot to edit the kickers as well. I wanted to turn a ton of their kick power way up because it looks like they struggle with the extra points there, as you can see. AI is just a little weird in this game at times, so forgive them for that. That's not my fault. So the Storm defensively aren't that good. I mean, I made them about as generic as possible. They don't really have any standout players or anything like that. Across the league, I've just turned a ton of these issues down with like player overalls and just weird stats being represented. So, we had a good press there that got turned into a touchdown. What a strike. The Storm are back in it here. I want to take a peek at this because it looked like something... Actually, I see what happened. Dive into the replay here. I can tell you this is a compressed set, so I have trouble with this when I play the AI. These outside receivers give me tons of issues because of things like this, where this guy actually gets jammed at the line, and you had an outbreaking receiver here also running that way. So what ends up happening here is he runs through the DB, and this guy basically, I don't know if he was in man coverage, but that outbreaking route, the AI just struggles with that at times. But this is the kind of stuff I'm like kind of looking for here, is just to kind of see these interactions kind of get broken up here by like football plays that I've not really been able to replicate outside of the I don't want to say the maximum game, but basically, like, because everyone's so rated high, it's tough to really differentiate who's good and bad. Good pocket built there. See if they can actually kick a field goal. That'd be interesting. So yeah, these are, I explained, and if you watch the replay, I really explained this at the beginning, but this is my 8-man, I've created every team in this league, and the problem is, it took me forever to do that because there's like 80-some players on these rosters when you make teams, so, these are completely edited to the max, so, a lot of these players are going to be in their 70s, a lot of these players, I try to make it so that like somewhere in the 77 to 82 range is like your average starter, okay? Anything above that is those guys that are like really solid foundational franchise guys that you can build around. Those are like really good draft pick guys that you can kind of feel comfortable with long time, like down the road and stuff. But mainly, I want to emphasize, if you're a 60 or like a 90 overall or plus, you should be dominating these games. So I changed a ton of my ratings to basically try to emphasize that like everybody in this game should be in that like 80-ish range. Those are like those average players, and anybody above that should be able to take over. So we're watching a game between, oh damn, watching a game between the Berserks with a pretty decent okay roster. Did they both just get hurt? I don't think I've ever seen that before. These two teams, I built the teams. There's a couple of teams with like very specific builds. One of them is like a very run heavy team, so their pass blocking is pretty shit. I forgot the Berserks actually only have one quarterback, so this is a receiver now playing the game, and he's just gonna drop a fucking die. What the hell is going on here? That's interesting. I can't believe that just happened, actually. So there are a few teams where I've created guys with crazy overalls. This green team actually has the best quarterback I've made in this franchise, and I was expecting them to basically thoroughly dominate because of that. So this green team also, it just doesn't really have that great of a defense. As you can tell, they're pretty shite. So this guy just sort of just walked himself down the field. But I want to go, of course, the game breaks half the time when you're trying to navigate things. So we're at quarterback here. How do I... Yep, I don't know. I wanted to look at 81, but I can't, so... So I'm going to do a full playthrough of this season. So there's 10 weeks. That's the shortest, schedule that I can make for this. So there's going to be a couple teams that they're going to play twice, but the point of this essentially is to get to a playoff and just kind of see which type of roster would win, like the super heavy defense team or the team with the elite quarterback, or the team with like the elite run game. I guess I'm just sort of interested to kind of see that happen, but also to emphasize that I want to see these impact players, when given the chance with adjusted ratings, they can actually impact the game and not just have everybody being like elite possession receivers and elite quarterbacks and all this stuff. So there's only one quarterback, I think, in this entire franchise that has a 90, and you're looking at him, and man, it is now just opening up here. I'd also like to say I am using what we're going to dub as the La Promised Prince sliders from Discord. Now, a few people have kind of dubbed this like the best sliders in the game, which I agree. I think they're just the best ones that I've had kind of play-wise here. So we're using those in the offline franchise, and I hopefully get decent results. So each week I'm going to try to emphasize a game depending on what the matchup is and sort of how it plays out. I can't believe these kickers are this bad. And we'll kind of do it that way, just kind of break that stuff down. So like I said, one week I might have like an elite defensive end go up against an elite left tackle. That'll be the game I stream. Or this team, the Storm, maybe because their quarterback's so good, I want to see him play like the Dark Tiger defense and just kind of take a peek at how he does against a team with multiple 90 overall players on defense. And it looks like the Berserk's quarterback is out, and with no backup, they are going to be in trouble here. So we have Tower, who I think is one of the running backs I had in Dynasty, but I've definitely edited him to basically not be near as good. But the offensive line here is pretty stout. I think most of these guys are in that low 80s range. And you can see how awkward it is when you're throwing with these bad quarterbacks. It just doesn't look great. If you've ever seen team in real life, like, remember a few years ago, this is a long time now, but the Dolphins were down to their third string passer, like their quarterbacks all got hurt, and I think they were down to like Pat White or something at quarterback. Jesus. I don't know what's happening, but these insta-sacks are taking place. But basically, the Dolphins were so afraid to throw the ball with this guy that they schemed up like nothing but 5-yard out routes. It's really terrible to watch. This is insane. This quarterback is dicing these guys up. I think the interior linemen for the Blizzard there are pretty decent. I think I made a couple of them like 90 or like 88 overalls or something like that. I just can't believe the blue team here is actually having a lot of offensive success without a quarterback on the field. They do have a really good receiver room. Oh, I thought Tower was in there. It's a shame, though, that this game doesn't, record stats in franchise mode, which is just one of the most wild decisions I've ever seen in a sports video game ever. Barely walked it in there. It's be a back and forth game. Let's see if we can kick a field goal here. Look at that. We have an extra point on the board. I can't even believe it. Yeah, I know the Dynasty is pretty spotty at best with its stat recording. Like, I think there's issues with the RPO, which is what I run a ton, and I think it records handoffs as catches, so it's not really reliable either. I actually stopped playing my Dynasty in this game because the RPO is broken. I don't know if it's just me or what, but like I'm running the RPO out of the gun H slot a lot of the time, and essentially I am hitting the X button to keep the ball, and he still hands it off, and then if I don't hit anything, the quarterback keeps the ball, and or vice versa. So like it just doesn't work, and I don't even understand like how that plays out the way it does.
First down.
I'm hoping there's not a lot of stiff arms and crazy break tackles either, because most of the running backs, when I was like editing to put this together, they're all in that like mid 82 to 84 range. A lot of them. There's just weird things that happen with a lot of these players, and that was like my main gripe here was like, why do I have a receiver that has like 88 run blocking? Or like, why do I have a defensive end that has like just like across the board, the defensive ends had way worse like block shedding than the offensive linemen had block ratings. So like it just creates this overpowered state that it's offensive heavy and you can't stop anybody. I agree. The RPO is fun, but it doesn't work like an RPO. I remember like trying it out the first day that they patched it in, and it just didn't work like in college football or Madden. When you go through the RPO to basically run the just say I'm looking at my triangle receiver as the mesh is happening and I want to throw it to him. Currently, maximum, you have to wait till the animation ends. You have to know to hit X before the play happens. Oh no, he fumbled at the goal line. And then like after he completes his animation, you have to wait for like 3 seconds, and then you can finally hit a button to throw it to a receiver, which just takes too fucking long. It's just out of control. It's funny because, like, you say that, and I don't remember who it was. Maybe if Casual Sims here, he could tell you. But one of the developers was in Discord actually justifying that they tested the game, and that's just how they left the ratings because that's how it tested well. But like, then we were all essentially just arguing with the guy that like no team. So just for example, when I started my first franchise before it broke, the Blizzards in this game have 3 quarterbacks. 2 of them are 94 and 95 overalls. The third stringer is an 86. So you're telling me that on one team, you have 2 guys that are like the pinnacle of the sport, and then a guy who basically, in terms of ratings, could be like the starter on just about any other team. I can't believe he's about to house this from midfield. Maybe I made the Storm too shit. My goodness. But it just, you don't get a chance to see these players play well if everybody is so outrageously rated. Oh wow. There's a little bit of that freezing and stuff I saw somebody talking about in Discord too, where like the safeties just don't attack the ball. And it's weird because I'm wondering if one thing I noticed is a ton of the players in this game have really bad acceleration. And these are like skill guys like safeties and corners and linebackers and stuff. I wonder if their acceleration rating is just totally nuking, like nerfing any chance they have to like move around, because like acceleration would be your stop and start basically from like a basic athletic position. If it's so low that like they can't recover quick enough, I wonder if that's why a lot of this freezing happens like there. I guess the Storm are really hell-bent on driving the ball here instead of just getting halftime. But also, when does this Christmas football go away? I'm beyond sick of seeing it. I also nerfed the spin quite a bit, if you guys can't tell. That was incomplete, eh? That Cryptoid ref waved that off. Damn it. Am I not going to be able to rewatch that play? I actually wanted to see that. Can I? Damn. Yo, Berserk's there. With 264 pass yards without a quarterback on the field. Oh, we can. Okay, so I want to see what happened here. So, get the snap, good double team, good pocket built. Good route there. This must be some sort of like cover 2, because there's too many cover 2s in this game, to be honest with you. Like, I think that's one of the flaws defensively, is like, they didn't know how to program a cover 3 or something really well, so they didn't include more than like a couple in each playbook. So that ball placement is just awesome. So catch 1, 2, and then he just coughs it up. And the default asset ref actually waved that off. I've never seen this before, where you actually catch the ball like this. 1, 2, 3. I think that would have been a fumble, if anything, right? And I don't understand what this guy does here. He just hitches and stops. But again, these are the gripes we've been talking about, for what, months now? And dead silent in that Discord. Dead silent.
Tackle made by number 26 on the defense.
The old Berserk's here coming out and getting into some heavy formation. I don't know why you wouldn't just throw the ball, since they've been just terrorizing them. Wow! What a play. Okay, tell me the last time you guys have ever seen an interior lineman run down a running back in this game. I'll wait. This dude, for the Storm, I'm pretty sure he's an absolute monster, this guy. So we get a pulling guard. Running back actually smartly tries to cut that outside because he sees this dude coming. This should be, in any other roster ever built and played with this game, this is easily like a 20-yard run. What a play. What the fuck was that? Okay, number 20 just, break tackle. Number 20 just had a full-on spasm there. That basically just ruined the whole play for these guys. Just like, what are we doing here? This is the type of clip, like, I'm glad this happens when I can record. Okay, so we're watching the play, and he just like, what even? I mean, at worst, let's just say he comes up here. Here, at least he could make the tackle, or like cause the running back to have to pick a side to go to instead of just doing nothing. But yeah, Rob, these are the rosters I've been churning out. So there's 8 teams in this franchise. These are 2 of them right here. So the brand is actually playing with their backup quarterback, who's a receiver, because the starter got hurt on like play 3. And he's just... Oh! Okay, I thought that was his first bad mistake there. I mean, there's getting crossed up, and then there's just spazzing out, and like, to the point of, like, you glitch. I think that was more of the latter. But, yeah, these are the rosters I'm using. So the Berserks are basically a pretty okay team. Oh, damn. The Storm just cannot get the ball to bounce for them. The Brander is basically my dynasty team that I used. I edited, of course, the hell out of the roster to kind of even it up. They have a really good offensive line. They're okay defensively. Storm have a 96 or 7 overall quarterback, so he's basically like the elite arm talent in the game. He's got 2 90-plus receivers on his team, so like I built the Storm to basically be like a glass cannon, sort of like the Cincinnati Bengals are. I can't believe they didn't come up with a turnover there, though. Also, if you guys are wondering why a ton of your defensive backs drop interceptions, it's because most of the DBs in the game I've seen have like a 53 catching. Now, I'm not saying it should be to the same level as like a starting receiver in the league, but like Champ Bailey, you know, could have played receiver. In this game would have gave him like a 52 receiving. Oh my goodness, it just gets worse. The Storm are just getting blown out now. Oh, no. So the point of these teams too is just to see, like, in the NFL, you could have a bunch of even teams. Usually the better quarterback wins. You need a franchise guy to build around to basically keep you stable. Right now in this game, that is not happening. A backup receiver quarterback is running it up on a 95 or 6 overall quarterback, so this is just wild to me. What are they losing by 25 points? So they have to score like 4 touchdowns in the next couple minutes to catch up and play defense. Look at him taking off. The team on his back right now. I can't believe he's not throwing the ball outside more, because he's got 2 elite players out there. He just doesn't feel comfortable with them or something. I don't know. I'm wondering too, and again, I'm sorry for depth charting as much as I am right now, but so yeah, 94 overall quarterback. One of their receivers is out. I don't know where these 2 guys came from, unless they added them in free agency or something, but I'm pretty sure they don't have that type of stuff going on. Because I'm pretty sure the free agency is built if you have other players already in the franchise. The problem with this type of thing as well, like me building these rosters and doing all this work, is the second I do a single draft, this all goes to waste, because the draft is like all 90s and 88s and 99 speed players. So like these teams would immediately be totally warped to what they were before. Oh my word, he just warped through 22. So there's your touchdown comeback. I forgot I made a receiver on the Storm called him, and he's not playing today because of injury. And they're going for 2. Might as well, since they can't hit a field goal. That was the fullback animation. I don't know if it needs sped up or balanced or something. It's just weird, and I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't look right, like it's too slow. But then again, if you speed it up, it's going to be like the pitch play, and everyone would use the shit out of it.
Number 3, tackled by number 28.
I agree. There were a few of the DBs, the better ones, I turned their catch rating up, not like to the extent of like a receiver, but like low 70s, high 60s.
Stopped short by number 26. That's 5 tackles for him. Second down.
No way. This is a receiver playing quarterback. Who is this guy?
First down.
Uh-oh, must be MPL. The pitch is coming out.
Yards gained on the run. Stopped short by number 25. First down.
Jeez. The Storm defense is atrocious. I didn't think I made them this bad, but
Tackle made by number 24 on the defense. down.
Just unreal. The Berserks are about to drop fucking 60 on this team. I didn't have my bets hedged that a team would score 40 in the first week of this franchise, but here we are. I'm also a fan of the pro rule set in this game. I actually think it makes it play better. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's me, but they need to add a few new animations for the receivers, especially in like the franchise setting where they try to like drag 2 feet or like fall out of bounds with like, you know, like with the 2 feet you have to have that type of possession in. So you guys will notice something here too. I know this is going to be stupid to explain, but you'll notice the receivers can actually be pressed now at the line of scrimmage. I know that that's crazy and it's hard to believe, but we're capable of pressing at the line of scrimmage now because I turned everybody's press release down from like a 95 to, you know, in the mid 70s, 80s. You know, some of the better receivers, the more agile guys have much better press release. I know 44 here is a really good press corner. So you can see the difference between like a bad press man corner versus a good one, or a guy with like bad release versus a guy with good release here. Yeah, if you're going to edit anything, you have to edit the press release and the press. That's one of my biggest complaints, mainly with the franchise and like any of the game modes here with this. It's the DBs have zero chance to survive. Like a 90 overall DB in my dynasty couldn't cover like a 80 overall receiver because he would get burned off the line every single time. And he just took a sack. When the DBs can get up there and take the timing away from these routes, and you can actually develop a pocket and make the quarterback hold the ball, isn't that crazy how sacks happen? Boy, what a letdown of a play there for that team. The Storm are just getting dominated now, so... At least based off of week 1, the brand has to be up there for, you know, my Super Bowl favorite in this game at this point. I figured the Storm would be totally dominant offensively, which is why I built them the way I built them, but... Alright, I will defend that lineman catching that secondary guy because he was probably totally depleted of stamina. What a turnaround here for the Storm. It's awesome to see the run game get 2 or 3 yards a pop and not just constantly hemorrhaging these like 20-yard runs. And that pocket got real muddied up. And was that an engaged linebacker? Yeah, I think it was. It was a dude on a block, and he was able to get off of it and actually bat the ball down the line. I can't even barely believe it.
the catch on the play.
I don't even think he was in bounds. Why would they not just like go to the end zone? I don't understand the logic here, the AI sometimes. And why are they kicking a field goal? They're down by like 20 points.
The kick is good.
I guess looks good in them power rankings. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if still, if you guys have ever played with the pro kicking rules, if you try to onside kick it, it like is broken. Like the receiving team doesn't acknowledge where the new onside kick location is or something. It's very strange. Oh.
Catch made by number
Oh boy.
number 3, tackled by number 20.
I didn't think the Storm would take an ass whooping like this, my gosh. Also those screenplays too, like, I hate to say this, but I've been playing a ton of college football, and they just need to take some AI elements from that type of screen pass to
Incomplete pass
bring to
by
this game.
number
Like,
81.
being blocked in place like that for like 4 or 5 seconds is just totally immersion breaking to me, which is why the screens in this game are super powerful.
12 yards gained on the
Damn,
run.
Towers just grinding this game out now. I'm really disappointed at the Storm. I was hoping to see like some big throws downfield or just some like big plays by the receivers, and they've just done nothing. All he's done is dumped it down to his running back the whole game. Oh, Tower just put that guy in a fucking blender.
16 yards gained on the run. Number 44, tackled by number 25. First down.
Yeah, I didn't hate that run. The safety earlier pissed me off, but that time I understood why he was hesitant. He just kind of got like bad spot and couldn't come up and set the run, like that run lane right there.
44. Stopped short by number 20. That's 2 second down.
In no reality do you play a 3 safety look ever at the goal, like inside the red zone, but you know, who am I to judge?
44 with a 11-yard run for the score.
Buddy just yeeted that ball into the stands after. Well, this is ugly. I didn't build these teams to be blown out, so this is kind of weird, but I guess I'm learning as we go. The Storm are pathetic on defense, my God.
Point after attempt is good.
I thought the brand would be like a 5-5 team. Maybe the Storm will be 0-10 or something, and maybe that'll make sense at the end of the season, but another fumble by the returner. You're joking. And another touchdown return. Jesus. Alright, I don't know who's returning kicks. I must have devastated him in the ratings. I've also noticed, too, that a lot of fumbles come off of the spin move in this game. So, I don't know if there's, like, correlation. Like, it's a high-risk, high-reward type of move or something like that, but...
Loss of yards on the run. Stopped short by number 25. That's 11 tackles for him today. Second down.
I do have the accelerated clock on, so I was hoping sort of like that would help nullify a ton of this like AI BS at the end of these games a little bit, but it's
Gained on the run by number
tough when you're just hemorrhaging yards every play.
stopped short by number 20. Timeout called by third down.
I still don't understand too why the AI doesn't get into like goal line
Touchdown.
defense. They're still in like 2 safety high. It's like a base, like a nickel defense at the goal line. That just confuses me completely. I don't understand it. I should have hedged bets on this game. If someone was going to score damn near 60 points, I'd have been like, you're absolutely insane. Especially after old Falco went down on the first drive. You have literally a receiver come in to play quarterback, and he's just dicing them up for 57 points. And he's still spinning, even though he's fumbled twice now. See if the quarterback will actually, put something downfield, or is this the backup? I think the starter's number 14. They put their reserves in?
Number 7 with the sack on the play.
Wasn't a sack announcer, but that's fine. There's a setting somewhere, I don't remember what it was called, or if I'm even remembering it correctly, that basically they empty out the bench, like basically bring a bunch of backups in if the game gets out of hand. I don't remember how true or false that is.
Incomplete pass by QB number 3.
Because if that happened, these guys on the field now are going to be complete ass.
Second down.
Gee. Alright, I gotta see that one. That was an interesting, weird interaction there. What the fuck? What happened to him? It's like he didn't have enough understanding or animation or something to go get that football. What a ballsy throw here, though. Like, you're throwing it underneath this corner, or over the corner and underneath this safety. But, like, I think this guy's so trash, the game couldn't comprehend his ability to go get the ball, so he sort of just, like, awkwardly reaches up there and doesn't fully... He looked like a semi-pro football player, honestly. 85 taking over. Yeah, he's happy. He got a touch.
First down.
This is what I thought they'd be doing the whole game. Spread offense, like throwing the ball around. Glad they took their 95 overall their 95 overall QB out of the game to start doing that. Tell me he's gonna house that, okay. Let's just wrap this game up here, boys. Come on. I would just sim to the end at this point, but my goodness, like, there's no sim option. Yeah, so they brought in another receiver to play quarterback. This is definitely just all backups now. Oh my god, this is going to be just disgusting. Also, did that guy just plant his foot and cut up field here? Oh my word, they still have timeouts left? Come on. There we go. So after this game, I'm going to sim the other couple games. So, because there's 8 teams, it's 4 games a week, 10-game season. So, I forget what the playoff format is. It's probably top 4 or something like that. I don't know, but I'll kind of see exactly who plays in week 2 and kind of decide who I want to watch or spectate that week. I should be able to. I think I've done that before with this game where I could just spectate any game I want. You have to, of course, pick a team to user control, which I'm not doing anything with these guys other than just basic getting them into a game and simulating it, so I'm not actually playing really at this point. This weird clock management gear, they just hurried up and ran 2 kneels instead of just letting the game end, and I don't know why the accelerated clock didn't just work, but I don't know, I didn't make the game. I'm overall not extremely pissed at the result here. There were some decent things that happened. I just think like the variables I put in place didn't really flow the way I thought they would. I was hoping that quarterback for the green team would actually stretch it out a little bit more and air the ball out with his elite offense. And he sort of just didn't do that the whole game, so I'm not sure what the cause of that was. The Berserk's defense is not overly talented, especially on the back end. So that's a little disappointing. Man, what a pocket. No way. Wow. What a throw. After the 15-minute pocket. What the hell? That stupid Christmas Nerf ball. I still can't get over how dumb that thing looks. I mean, it's adorable at first, but to be fair, like, that it's worn its welcome out about a day or two after this patch happened for the Christmas theme stuff. Well, we had 473 total yards there. Just insane. 327 passing by a receiver. 9 tackles for loss, eh? Alright, let's jump back in here and we'll see what the other scores look like, because I don't know if they're all going to be 57-27s here. Okay, I guess a ton of... Is this for the whole league or just my team? I don't know. So, the Mammoths... Wait, what the fuck? Why do I have 2 Mammoth teams? Interesting. I don't know if I messed up. What the fuck? The Killers, they're just garbage other than a mobile quarterback, beat the Tigers, who have the best defense in this. Raleigh Mammoths and the Raleigh Mammoths. I don't know if I goofed up there. What the... Yeah, I have 2 Mammoths teams. Oh my god, what an idiot. 1, 2. How did I... Boy, I don't know how I messed that up. Okay, well. Whatever, I can deal with it if you guys can. So, how do we... Okay, so, whatever. I might have to step in and get a quarterback, because that's not looking good over there. Blizzard... I'm so pissed off I messed that up. How did I bring a team in twice? How is that even possible? That can't be possible. Did I clone them twice offline or something? I don't know. Alright, what am I doing here? So... Okay, so there's 10-game season. Can I see, like, just standings or something? Oh, dummy. So... The Mammoths, I guess, are going to have to figure it out. I don't know how they got in here twice, but whatever. I can deal with it if everybody else here can. So, the worst team in the league beat the best team in the league. The Berserks with no quarterback just beat the best quarterback in the league. Just absolutely wild. I don't even understand what's going on. So, alright guys, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed that game. I'll try to figure out which one I want to stream, maybe like tomorrow or something like that, but I got to sign some players too. I'm down under the number, but